Hello and welcome to my video. Today we are talking about Breaking Bad and why I believe it's overrated. Now, this is my opinion. You're not all going to agree with it, so if you're one of those people who are basement dwellers who just can't agree or, well, not really agree, can't accept someone else's opinion on your favorite TV show that you don't agree with, click off this video and go look at yourself in the mirror because you got problems. If you really get that butthurt by someone's opinion because they don't like your show, you just need to go reinvent yourself. But I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't like this show, and I'm going to go into depth. So make sure you let me know in the comments below what is your opinion on Breaking Bad. Don't forget to click like as well, and don't forget to click subscribe as well while you're there. And let's jump into this video.
Perfect.
With the characters, and now to me this is one of the big issues. Characters of Breaking Bad. Why are they a problem? Because I don't feel any emotional attachment or any sort of attachment, to be fair, to majority of these characters. The only one that I do really connect with is Jesse, who I think is actually a well-written character. I actually really liked his character. I can understand his arc he's going through and how he's in the survival mode. He's been put in this situation that he necessarily didn't really want to be, but unfortunately he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he's fallen into this world. He's being manipulated, and I understand what his motive is when he loses his girlfriend, when Walt kills her. He has this big moment as well, and then I'm really connected. Once that happens, I'm really connected with his character, and then that's probably why I can watch El Camino and enjoy it, because I'm more attached to Jesse's character and I'm rooting for his character. He's probably the only one in this show that I'm rooting for. That says a lot, because when we move over to the other hand, we look at like Skylar. I am not rooting for her at all. I am actually sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't actually mind if she died in this show. I really wouldn't. I really would not care at all if she died. That says something. Now, Skylar to me is a character that is just downright boring, downright whingy and bitchy, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, so what is your actual purpose on this show? What is Skylar's purpose? What is your arc? What is her arc besides sitting there whenever Walt's there, she's always on screen with it, and she just goes, yo, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing? What are you... Just like going at the guy. And I'm like, no wonder why this guy never wants to be home. Because you're always on his fucking ass. That is not how you write a character. I'm sorry. Look, you can have whiny characters. Chi-Chi, for example, from Dragon Ball, is a whiny character. She whines at Goku all the time. Why are you training? Why are you doing this? But it's not 24/7. I feel like whenever Skylar's in scene, on screen, whenever she is there, she is constantly having something to whinge about, to cry about, to bitch about. And I'm sorry, that to me is not a well-written character. That is a character where, when she's on screen, I'm just brain off. I don't even care. Like, tell me when this scene's over, because I'm sick of listening to this. And when you make me feel like that, I'm sorry, but I can never ever get any attachment to that character. It just makes me want to see them off screen. Now when we move to Walt Jr., he has the same problem as Skylar, except he does get a little bit more development, and I understand some of his motive and his character arc that he's going through, especially with Walt being his father. That's fine. I can accept Walt Jr. He's not 24/7. He has little moments here and there. So he's not a badly written character, but I wouldn't say he's a great character either. Then we go to Walt, and I just feel like Walt's character is just... what's his name? Cranston does a fantastic job portraying this character. I just feel like the writing for his character just was a bit like he went from one extreme to the other extreme pretty quickly, in my opinion. I didn't feel like, for a show that has pacing issues, which I'm going to get into, I feel like his character and his character arc was like fast. And I don't know why that happened so fast, because it feels like his character goes through his arc really, really quickly, and then it's just like stalemate for the next 2 seasons. Which I'm kind of sitting there like, okay, so we've done this character arc with his. Now what's the next one? So I couldn't connect with him. I couldn't get any empathy for him. And when I can't connect with the characters, then you've lost me. You absolutely lost me. Now we're going to move into the pacing, and to me, Breaking Bad has some poor pacing, especially the first 3 seasons. They are paced so slowly and so boringly that I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I at work? Am I seriously sitting here at work? What the fuck is going on? I have just watched 5 episodes and I feel like nothing has happened, nothing on the story has progressed forward or anything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is this pacing? Now before all the basement dwellers go, oh, yeah, that's because you only like Marvel films. That's because you only like action films and action, hair, explosions. I'm sorry, but that's not true, because I like Ad Astra, which is one of the slowest paced films I've ever seen. I like drama films that have slow pacing as well. So yeah, so that's incorrect. This is just has bad pacing to me. I mean, the first 3 seasons, I don't know what actually was like happening, because it was just so freaking slow. How can you make a story where nothing progresses from each episode? How does that happen? Now, granted, the people tell me the last 2 seasons are bonkers. Bonkers. And it just makes me wonder, why is it you can have 2 seasons at the end there that have really like different, quicker pacings than these first 3? If you compress these first 3 seasons down to 2, I think you could actually make a lot better and more compelling story with better pacing that actually may make you want to really be invested in. But because the pacing's so slow, I'm sitting there and I'm not getting invested, because I'm like, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. How much longer do I have to do this in order for the story to progress? 5 episodes later, oh, we finally progressed a little bit. And then it's like, Walt's character arc is progressing a lot quicker than anything else in this thing. And I'm like, so why is his character progressing so quickly, but yet the actual storylines in that are not progressing? I don't know. But to me, the pacing is just way too slow, and it's a bore fest. It's a bore fest. I almost fell asleep in the first 3 seasons. Now I want to talk about the world building. Look, to me, I don't think Breaking Bad does a great job either of world building. I did not feel like I wanted to be interested in this world at all. I mean, they just don't capture me to being able to live in that world, or to be even invested enough to be able to accept, oh, this is a sick world, like I love the world building they're doing. No, it's all feels very compressed and small. It doesn't really expand upon, in the first 3 seasons anyway, it doesn't really expand upon anything outside of this little bubble that they're living in. Which I think is sort of a big problem for me, because I like when they build the lore, build mythology and stuff like that. And I think there was a lot to be told, especially in the first 3 seasons. When you're building up certain things, there could have been, I don't know much about the villains, because they don't really dive into them and their backstory and their lore, or give us anything about that. And they don't build them up. They don't build anything up. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is there? What is the point of me being invested in this world when there's nothing there? There's nothing. So to me, the world building suffers as well, and that's why I can't get invested in this world. Because there's no mythology behind any villains or anyone. I just don't care. Why? I mean, let's look at Sons of Anarchy, for example. They give me world building. They build. Look, the Suns and Mayans have been like together. They've been this long. Like, they do those little things. Like, I'm not expecting you to go dive right into it, but at least give me some backstory. Give me something to grab on and be like, whoa, okay, so this has been going on for this long and that and that. They don't do any of that. They don't do any of that. So, I think the world building suffers as well. Well, now we move to the story, and I just don't find this story compelling at all. I really don't. It feels pretty generic to me. Feels like something I've already seen in other films and other movies. Well, movies and films are the same thing, you idiot. It feels like I've already seen this story told out. A guy gets dealt the bad hand in life, turns to becoming an evil dude who wants to just make money on the side so he can pay for certain things without telling his family and that. However, he gets sucked into it and he becomes a big bad guy. I've never seen that before. You tell me I've never seen that before? It's pretty boring. It's pretty generic. Not gonna lie. It's a very generic story and it's not interesting. It's not interesting. The only thing that's interesting is following Jesse's story, actually. I would actually prefer if Breaking Bad was just Jesse's story from the start to beginning. Start to beginning. What am I saying? From the start to the end, sorry. Because I actually think El Camino is a lot better than the series. And that's probably because it's Jesse's story. Jesse's the most interesting character and the most compelling character. So, I think the story of El Camino is actually more entertaining. Because what they also do in El Camino that Breaking Bad doesn't do very well, they build the world, they show me backstory of Jesse, they show me this, show me that, what happened, and that, and I'm like, cool, I'm invested now. That was what? In the first half of the film, I'm invested. I'm completely invested. 3 seasons later in Breaking Bad, I'm not invested? That's a problem. Your story's not very good, your writing's not very good, there's just so many problems. Your pacing, everything about it. Your characters, they don't work for me. They don't work for me. So, yeah, I just don't find the story interesting at all. So, in conclusion, I just have a lot of problems with Breaking Bad. It's not for me. It's just not for me. And yes, I think it's overrated. Because people tell me it's the best show ever created. And I just don't see that. I don't see how it is. I watched the first 3 seasons and before you basement dwellers come in again and go, oh, you've only watched 3 seasons. How can you even comment on the Breaking Bad show when you've only watched 3 seasons? That's because I've watched over 50% of the show, and if the show can't get me invested in 50% of watching it, like I've watched 3 freaking seasons out of the 5. I've watched over 50% of the show. Even if I'm not invested, if I don't give a shit about any of the characters, it's not doing its freaking job. So yes, to me, it's gonna be overrated. Of course it's going to be overrated. Now, if you basement dwellers can't get that through your thick head, and you're just like, oh, this guy, oh, I'm butthurt because he doesn't like my show. Get over it. People don't like my favourite shows. I don't go around and go, oh, you're wrong. No, because it's all opinions. This is just how I feel about a show. This is how I viewed the show. This is my opinion. You're entitled to yours. I'm not saying no one can like it. That's fine. Just to me, it's overrated, okay? So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you love Breaking Bad? Do you think it's overrated like I do? I want to know. And be respectful. Remember, it's all opinions. Like, it's just opinions. So smash that like button, hit subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.